I'm Michelle with two L's.
And I'm Natalie the Red.
And we are Force of Light Entertainment. And today we're here to give you our review, our thoughts for the new Angel Studios movie, Cabrini. Before we get started, I would like to tell any of you who, by the end of this review, are interested in this movie, in the description box, there will be a link where you can get up to 18% off on tickets for Cabrini. So definitely check out the link below. And get you a little discount. I like it. I like a discount. So definitely check that out.
I mean, why not get it? Get the discount if you can.
Yes. And if you are new to this channel and you have not yet subscribed to Force of Light Entertainment, what are you waiting on? Go ahead, hit the subscribe button. Also ring the notification bell and smash the thumbs up. We appreciate it. But as I said, we're going to be reviewing Cabrini. And I will give you just a brief intro to what this movie's about. Again, this is from Angel Studios. This movie is actually made by the same director who did Sound of Freedom. And it is a biopic following the life of Mother Cabrini and showing this woman as she comes over desiring to build, as she says, an empire of hope, mostly mostly through orphanages and hospitals. And she comes sent from the Pope. She wanted to start in the East, but she ends up starting her quest in New York City.
Of all places.
Yes, and you see throughout the story just her struggle of getting this going and the way the Italian immigrants were treated at the early 1900s.
Not very well.
It wasn't well. I thought the Irish had it bad. That's what I'd always thought. But yeah, that is kind of the gist of the story. So now let's get into the way we do our reviews. We give you our initial thoughts, what we liked, what we didn't like, and then we rate the movie. My initial thoughts when I saw this movie is that it is a beautiful film. That were my initial thoughts. Natalie, what were yours?
Well, that's a good way to put it. And a beautiful story.
Yes.
And a true story, based on a true story, which to me, that always kind of makes it, the weight of it, when done well, is a little heavier when it's like these are actual based on real events or real persons. So I love a good biopic.
Yes.
But did I say that right?
Biopic.
We were arguing before on how to say that. Michelle was right, by the way. But I think it was and just some beautiful things in it. And it's like I told her.
We're in initial thoughts, girl.
Oh, I thought we were what we liked. Okay, my bad.
Well, let's go into what you like. Keep going.
So
that was your initial thoughts. Natalie, keep going with what you like.
There are some very good quotes in the movie. And I wish I'd written them down. And I think if you as the viewer are watching or listening in that case, but you'll probably pick up on some of them, or I think you will, that kind of hit me a certain way, I guess. But yeah, just some beautiful lines in that movie.
Well, and I would say too, things I like, again, I thought this movie was, when I say a beautiful film, it was really encompasses everything that there is. Both the story itself is beautiful. This woman who desires to help those who are in need. In this case, in this particular instance, we see her beginning to build an orphanage and also try to get a hospital for those that aren't as privileged, we would say. So you have beauty on that. Just her mercy, her desire to help people is beautiful. But then also,
I just kind of like being God's hands and feet.
Yes,
truly, kind of,
Yes, and that's what I'd say, because people sometimes ask, was it too preachy with a faith-based film? Not at all, because the movie,
really not at all.
The movie is showing you what it wants.
There really isn't much talk, really of things, of like stuff like that. Even I think it is like it's showing. It's her actions, her desires to do the things she does.
Her actions are her being the hands and the feet of Christ and doing these things in the name of the Lord. So I think it's very, in that regard, no, it's not overly preachy, but yet it is getting its message across because of her life, what she did. So I think that just the story is beautiful as far as the struggles, because sometimes it ends up being more beautiful when there's struggle along the way. And all throughout this movie, she is hit with one thing after another, one hurdle after another. And to watch her triumph over these struggles and to keep pushing through it just shows such a beautiful spirit that very few people.
It makes it more special, I think.
Well, it does. And that's why I say it's beautiful by the time you reach the end, and then especially when you hear what she would go on to do. But also when I say it's beautiful, something that stood out to me, I love music. I thought the score really helped this movie. It was beautiful. The music was, the visuals. Again, this director did Sound of Freedom. I think clearly he has very good direction with what he does. But the cinematography was great. So pretty much,
it was really pretty.
Some
shots were like really breathtaking.
They were. So pretty much just across the board, it all comes together, and that's why I say it was a beautiful film.
Like lots of beauty going on.
Yes,
and like you said, sometimes the irony about it is in the midst of such struggle and ugliness, let's say, but so much beauty can be found.
Yes, because this movie, and that's why it's rated PG-13. I mean, she first encounters a prostitute on her first day in New York. And I actually really grew to love that character. That was such a redemptive character in that. But it doesn't shy away from showing you how bad it was. And I think that's why it's PG-13. This story would be a little too heavy for younger kids.
Shows a lot, but just kind of a picture, a glimpse of the harsh realities of life for some people.
Yes. Yeah, like she, even as they're walking through what's supposed to be the most dangerous alley, at one point says, don't shut your eyes. Like, see everything. So that, I think that's why it's PG-13. Or definitely is why it's PG-13. But I would say also too, I believe if I say her name right, Cristina Dell'Anna I thought she did a great job as Cabrini.
Again, I do too.
Again, this character that's, though so persistent, is so graceful. She's not she's not going to take no for an answer, and yet she's not overly
about her.
Yes, and yet she's not overly abrasive either. There's a grace to this character, and I think
she's a good negotiator.
She is, and I think the actress did a great job. I mean, really, everyone did a good job in this movie, but of course, she is the leading lady and stands out. And another thing positive I will say, in a kind of a day and age where I feel like Hollywood has struggled to write good female characters, I think Cabrini is an excellent one, again, because of the struggles, because of everything she encounters. She doesn't just get things handed to her.
Right.
She has to fight for everything she gets. And what makes, again, the character so precious is she's not fighting for herself. She's fighting for those that are in need and those that can be helped by what
she was like. It's kind of one of those like, let's just change the world type of situations.
Yes. And again, that's what's in this movie's going to be released on International Women's Day. What is so inspiring, again, is this woman. You see the impact of what one woman's vision, or what any man's vision as well, but in this case, a woman, what her vision produced and what it was able to help so many people. And really probably still helping people today through those that were established under her.
Makes me a little misty-eyed, chill, honestly.
It is. It's a very inspiring story. So yeah, those are the things I like. Natalie, anything you want to add?
I think you nailed it. But yeah, it's like I love, I love underdog stories.
Yes, and she's an underdog.
Yes, definitely. But like you said, like
stop. Can I pause on that?
Yeah, sure.
Because she is, again, it's released International Women's Day. She is the first person from the Catholic Church to be sent on her own mission outside of Italy.
Oh, that's so cool.
Is what they say in this movie.
That's really awesome.
Yes. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're fine.
You made me think of that.
No, you're fine. But like so many of those movies that they are kind of like, and that's not bad, but maybe it's for something for themselves or something. But this is, that is the difference. It was like for the betterment of the world. And, like, so it's just, it's really, really good stuff.
Very, very touching. So those are our positives. What would I give as far as a negative, as a critique? My only critique, this movie sits at about 2 hours and 25 minutes, or that's counting credits. So about 2 hours and 20 minutes. I probably could have shaved 15 to 20 off, but
yeah, I would agree. I mean, I wouldn't disagree.
You guys know how I am about time. I probably could have made this a very tight 2 hour movie. But with that being said, it didn't take away my enjoyment from this movie at all. But that would be my one critique. I feel like that's often my critique of movies.
It's pretty common for Michelle.
But that's my critiques. Anything else, Natalie?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I really enjoyed it, and I had never heard of her. Like,
I
so
had,
it's
I
just,
actually hadn't either.
yeah. So it was just, it was a good time, informative, and like I said, I love when it's a true story and it's something, beautiful like that. And
Yes, 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 definitely. So that's our likes, dislikes. So I'm going to rate this movie 5 being max level of hoots. I'm going to give this 5 out of 5. I genuinely was deeply touched by the movie. I think it was a beautifully well-made movie and just a beautiful movie about a beautiful soul, clearly, in
right.
Mother Cabrini. So yeah, I give it 5 out of 5. Natalie, what are you going to give it?
I'm gonna give it I think I'm gonna give it 4.5 out of 5.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good. So
Yeah,
4.5 hoots for Natalie and 5 out of 5 hoots for me. But yeah, those are thoughts on the new, again, Angel Studios, again, also directed by the same gentleman who directed Sound of Freedom, obviously the big hit of last summer. But yeah, that is it. And remember again to look in the description box if you are interested in seeing this movie, which obviously I recommend. If you are interested in seeing this, take Angel Studios up in the description box and get you a discount for those tickets. And also check people, they've been doing the pay it forward thing like they did for Sound of Freedom. So you can also check and see if you can grab some free tickets in your area as well. But that is our thoughts on Angel Studios Cabrini in theaters starting today. Again, I recommend it, so check it out. But what do you guys think? Or are you interested in this movie? Share your thoughts below. And if you have not yet, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Also, give this video a thumbs up. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, remember to be a force of light. All right. Bye, guys.